Hi guys, my name is Shubham Gupta. My UPSC journey started in the year 2015. That was my first attempt. In that, I could not clear prelims. In 2016, I got All India rank 366. Currently, I am working in the Indian Audit and Account Service in Jaipur. In 2017, unfortunately, I again could not clear prelims. And 2018 is now my fourth attempt, and this year I have scored All India rank 6. In the last 20 or 25 days that is left for the prelims, one thing which is very, very important is to hold your calm and composure. At the same time, it is very important to keep practicing. I don't think there is any alternative to practice test papers and answer writing overall throughout this process, especially for prelims, because just because of the fact that you have to attempt about 100 questions in 120 minutes. So time management is very crucial. If you use that this particular period of 25 days that you have in your hand to manage your time well, to learn how to attempt the paper, to have your own strategy about how you want to attempt the paper in those 120 minutes, that will be great for you. Second, what will happen when you keep practicing the test papers or whatever test series you can get hold of is that you will have a better idea of how to attempt those questions which you are not completely sure of during the exam. Because it will happen. Generally, it happens that there are about 20-25 questions which you are not generally aware of or you are not absolutely sure of. So, but you have to attempt a few of them, right? So that will help you to attempt those particular questions by way of elimination, by way of guesswork, by way of sixth sense, I call it sometimes. So all those things will help you in attempting that paper. So I think revision and answer writing, that is what should be the main focus. And instead of trying to read new material, that may not be a very good idea at this stage of the exam. So focus on revision and multiple times revision of all the subjects, including static as well as current. Current is very, very important especially, and also, as I said, test practice. Honestly, I never attempted the previous year's paper, but I had a look. Just to get an idea and condition myself as to what the UPSC is looking for. Although UPSC keeps on changing the pattern every now and then, this particular year, the paper pattern, as you must be aware, has been a lot topsy-turvy as compared to the previous years, right? So you cannot have an absolute understanding of what the UPSC is looking for by looking at the previous year's paper, but it does give you a better idea about what are the key focus areas or what particular subjects the UPSC is focusing on. So in that sense, it gives you a good idea, but I don't think it's a very, very useful exercise to devote a lot of time on solving the previous year's papers. As you must be aware, 2016 the cutoff was 116 point something, 2017 the cutoff was 105, this year the cutoff is 98, so it doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why it doesn't matter, not because it varies a lot, but because what can you do? While you're attempting those 100 questions, can you keep this thing in your mind कि मेरे को तो इतनी cutoff आनी है and I'll attempt only those number of questions and then I'll leave the question paper? No, it doesn't work that way, right? You have 120 minutes, you have to attempt 100 questions. Give your best, do your best. Don't keep these things in mind. The same things happen with means also, interview also. I want this rank. How can you know? You cannot know, right? It's very, very difficult to complete the entire syllabus of UPSC prelims precisely because there is no defined syllabus for prelims, right? So what I will suggest the aspirants is, one, complete your static syllabus, because that gives you a lot of confidence about your own preparation and your own strategy. So jitne bhi, for example, geography, history, polity, all other subjects, all other current affairs. So generally the static portion of your particular prelims paper and preparation stage should be done and multiple times done, because that will give you confidence and you'll have a better idea about what you can expect from yourself in the paper, one. But current affairs, generally you should first of all try to cover everything that you have made notes out of the newspaper, try to revise that, that is one. And apart from that, if you can get hold of any magazine or compilation which generally gives you material which is not generally covered in the newspaper. So generally it becomes, sometimes it becomes important that you are able to look into those sources as well, so that some topics which are left out of the newspaper but which are important from the paper point of view especially, those are covered. So in that sense, overall combined, this will give you a better idea about what you can expect from yourself. But don't try to feel that or think that you will actually complete everything and anything under the sun, because you cannot. But you should have an idea about yourself, what all topics you want to cover, and you should be able to cover that. So define the syllabus for yourself first by having your own strategy and try to cover that particular syllabus. My suggestion to that is, one, I absolutely agree that it will happen, but practice. That's why I keep suggesting that practice the test papers. That will help you a lot, even in attempting those particular questions. Especially, and this happens a lot, especially if the first 10 questions are something like which you are not absolutely sure of, or you are not sure about 8 or 10 of them. So that will happen. That will have an impact on your mind. So to condition your mind to those particular questions, you need to practice, first of all. Second of all, you need to identify your strong and weak areas. So once you are able to identify your strong areas, then while attempting those first few questions, you will have an idea that these are not my areas. These are not questions from my strong areas. So you can generally feel confident that even if I am not knowing a particular question, those are not the questions from my strong area. So I can generally be a little bit more relaxed about those particular questions. So first of so it may be a good exercise to generally have an idea about your strong and weak areas, and then you can have more confidence about those particular areas, and you should generally try to make your strong areas stronger so that you are not doing any questions wrong in those particular areas. So I think combination of the two, just to have an idea about yourself and your own mental abilities regarding the different subjects. For example, I'll give an example also, like I was not very good at geography and history, for example. So I generally used to consider polity and current affairs as my strong area. So I will, even if I am not able to answer anything from geography and history, that will not bother me much. So I had conditioned my mind accordingly. Ki, these particular questions I'll do it at the end. I'll probably use some elimination method or guesswork to answer those questions. First of all, try to give the first reading to the question paper in the first 70 minutes or so. You should be able to go through all 100 questions in the first 70 minutes odd, because that will give you a brief idea about what the paper is all about, what is your current position in the paper at that particular point of time, and what you need to do more in or differently in those next 50 minutes to achieve a number of questions which you have thought about that you will be attempting in a particular exam and assess the exam better. First is that. Second is, in this particular period of 25 days, as I have again focused on, practice as many tests as possible. I personally practiced about 33 tests, full-fledged tests, subject and also covering the UPSC type test also. Before my prelims, when I went and sat and wrote the exam that in 2018. 3, keep your calm, keep your nerves, and as I said, you will be able to do well. You will be able to do better only if you are able to have that temperament to understand the paper and attempt the paper. Many times there are some freakish questions in which UPSC is not trying to get the right answer, but just to test your temperament. So don't get bogged down by those questions. Just focus on the questions which you should be answering and which you should be knowing and which everybody should be knowing. So generally, one of my teachers used to tell me once that यूपीएससी में पास भी वही कराता है जो क्वेश्चन सबको आने चाहिए और फेल वो कराता है जो किसी को भी नहीं आने चाहिए. सो द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज यू शुड बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दोज क्वेश्चंस व्हिच एवरीबडी शुड नो एंड यू शुड नॉट डू दोज रॉन्ग. जनरली दोज आर द स्टैटिक पार्ट क्वेश्चंस एंड you generally should not be worried about answering or not knowing a few questions which generally you're not expected to.